Hey, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. So, it's time to sit down and react to Foodie Beauty. Yesterday's content was hot garbage, and today's content is spicy hot garbage. So, there is a bit of a difference. There's a little bit of spice in the garbage today. Somebody just threw some pepper on it, so it's a little bit spicy. So, Chantal did a live stream called Hello, and there are some elements from yesterday that are still present today. She's still stoned slash sick. She's still complaining about her life in Canada. Although somebody in the chat made her mad. People were pointing out her relationship with Salah because she says she misses him. And the feeling is she really wants to go back to Syria. Some people are speculating that she might try to go back on her next paycheck. I don't know if she can. I don't know if she's allowed. Is Chantal crazy enough that she would try to go back anyway? Maybe fly all the way to Damascus when she gets her next paycheck and maybe stay at the hotel expecting Salah to let her back? Yeah, she's just that crazy. She just might try that. And that's why I'm hoping that Salah, he does something before then. Maybe puts out a video or something and lets her know, hey, I am married. I'm in a relationship. There's no room for you here. You're not welcome. There's no vacancy. I hope that he does that. Just to let her know, hey, your life is in Canada. You got to stay in Canada. She might have an entire meltdown if that happens. But I honestly think that she is deliberately not trying to have a life in Canada because her heart is set on being back in Syria with Salah. She's not trying to let him go. She's still hanging on to the hope that when I get paid next, I can just go back to Syria. Chantal, he doesn't want you there. From everything I've seen, he doesn't want you there. He and his family do not want you there. They do not have room for you. You are not welcome. And he just needs to bite the bullet and let you know publicly. Because you're the kind of person that you don't walk away from men. They have to force you to let go in order for you to let go. You're just not going to get it until he says something out loud. These little silent hints and silent treatment ain't going to get it done. But I guess we'll see, won't we? We will see. I'm going to go over this stream as well as stuff on Twitter. There is stuff on Twitter to go over. So there isn't a whole lot of stuff, but there is some interesting stuff. And I want to show it to you so you guys know what time it is. It's time for the Twitter peeps. All right, let's get going with this. Let me just make sure I am where I need to be, and I'm not. I'm so glad I checked. It's all right, though. It's not a big deal. We got there. All right, so for those of you that are on Twitter, that you would like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And for those of you not on Twitter, that's Why Do the Peeps. You guys can keep up with all the news and gossip without actually having to go there. So let's start with something fun and touching from the vegan, saying penguins have a courtship ritual in which the male finds a carefully selected stone and presents it to the female. The male penguin fell in love with her. Aw, so he brought her a rock. He said, look, do you like the rock? It's a good rock. I pulled it from the river. What do you think? Are you impressed? That is the sweetest thing. He brought you a rock. I treasure that rock forever. Just because of the effort it took that little guy to bring it to me. That's the sweetest thing ever. Yog says a papa stork brings the blanket to keep mama stork warm. Where'd the stork even get that blanket? It don't matter. He's doing his job. He's being a good dad. He's like, you're over here laying eggs, so I'm going to keep you warm. Papa stork is standing on business taking care of mama. Aw. Okay, back to Chantal. Ghost Crab says Chantal is admitting to go back. Go back to where? Salah divorced her. Does she think she's going to move in with her ex-husband and his new cousin wife as a roommate or something? Yeah, she does think that. She does not want to let go. She's determined to hang on to him. You know how she's been saying lately, I just want peace. I want to be at peace. I don't think she means she wants peace in the normal sense, not the way that a lot of us, we want peace. I mean, she's sitting in an apartment. There's no one bothering her at all. What's more peaceful than that? I think Chantal, when she says, I want peace, she means it in a different way. Because peace to her equals Salah. So when she says, I want peace, what she's actually saying is, I want him. I want to be around him. I want to be in the Middle East where he's my caretaker and he's running errands for me and go getting my food and letting me be basically a human infant. I want to be a big old toddler. I want somebody else taking care of me. I want someone to provide an environment where I can just be a kid again. Chantal, you had 3 years away from adulthood. Sorry, you got kicked out. You got to be an adult again. I know it sucks for you, but you just got to do it. Baba Yaga says, I'm so sick of seeing grown adults not be able to be alone. Pathetic as F. Future Becky Al-Rafay says, quote, do I learn to deal with the loneliness, moving with peace, or go back to Syria? Salah is never getting away from her. I think the first option is the best choice. Learning to deal with your own loneliness. Because you can't move in with Pete. I don't think he wants you to move in with him. I don't think he can have you move in with him. Let's just say you and Pete did live together. Would that be beneficial for either one of you? The last time that you and Pete lived together, it was disastrous. You both are codependent people. And on top of that, you are abusive. When you were around Pete, it was not good for you. It was not good for him. He stayed in his room most of the time, and you were a mess regardless. What you're doing in the apartment alone, you would do the same thing, maybe worse, if Pete were there. So what would be the difference exactly? Except that you'd be messing up his life as well as your own? What would be the advantage or the benefit of being with Pete? Oh, that's right. Because he's working and he's making a paycheck. And if you run through all of your money, you might be hitting him up for his. And I'm sure that will cause major fights because he's got to have his money for expenses. But maybe that's why you want to move in with Pete. You want a man around that if you run through all of your money, you could just grab at their paycheck. So the options are deal with the loneliness, move in with a guy, or go back this area to try be with another guy. That should tell you everything you need to know about her mindset. She does not want to be alone. Mo Translate says, Chantal says, we just don't understand the relationship between her and Salah. Huh? We don't? Well, let's watch and see if we do.
You guys don't know the relationship, only bits that I've told you. You don't know anything else. You can't say how awful it was because you don't know.
Chantal, when you got mad recently, you said that he cheated on you several times. What more do we need to know? He was a run around, play around. He was playing around and running around with everybody but you. And I'm sure that made you mad. The fact that he was a run around, play around, but he wasn't giving you none. Obviously, he did not desire you. Obviously, you were not his ideal mate nor lover because he didn't touch you. We don't understand the relationship. We heard enough. We have heard enough over the last 3 years to surmise that he is not your ideal man and you are not his ideal woman. How many times did you tell us all we did was fight? All we did was argue. So he's running around cheating on you, according to you. And the times that you guys were around each other, you fought. So how is that a good relationship again? Why is that something you want to hang on to? You're around someone that you have nothing in common with, that they spend more time away from you than with you. You fight with them. They're with other women. Why go back? All right, here's another clip courtesy of Mo.
Because I don't need people on the internet who don't give a flying fuck about me harassing me all damn day when I'm on here.
Told you it's spicy hot garbage. Here we go.
The comfort, and the internet's not a good place for comfort. Yeah, well, I don't care. There are good people on it as well. And people just try to invalidate my feelings, and like, I'm tired of it. We're holding you accountable for what? I don't owe you anything. Did I ask for accountability in my life? No. You just sit back and watch and shut the F up or leave.
You know what? Before you even get finished, let me get started. Chantal, nobody would have had anything to say if you carried on with your relationship in private. But you're online, you're on YouTube, you put everything in front of other people. You want people to be involved. You want people to be invested in your life, what goes on in your life. You want people to invest themselves in what's going on with you. And then you turn around and get mad at people express their opinions, their feelings, their thoughts about what they see and what they're exposed to. You can't do that. You can't play both sides of the sword. 1 minute inviting people in, you want people to know about everything. You want people to feel sad for you because he cheated on you or he lied to you. But then when you do stuff like this and you're like, I want to go back, when people in your own audience are like, what are you talking about? He cheated on you. He lied to you. You said to us, you guys fought all the time. You've also told us that when you were in Syria, you weren't happy and you couldn't wait to come back to Canada. And now you are, what, changing your mind? And we're confused and we're frustrated because we don't understand. You're going to go off? No, you shouldn't be going off on people. When you invite people into your life on that level, you bring them in really, really close, acting like they are your friends or your family. And then when they express concern for you, you get mad at them.
Leave. Like, don't go on and on and on about something. Jeez, hello. Seriously, they just go on and on, like bashing Salah, like acting like they knew everything about our relationship. It's my fault for saying anything negative. This is why you don't do that. Because then people will just hate the person, you know. Living viral, can remember recipes. I know it's frustrating and so eye roll worthy of people to be like, oh my God, I can't believe you want to be with him or her. At the end of the day, like when it's an online relationship, you don't know the extent of anything, you know?
We know what you tell us. We also know how unhappy you are, but that's not entirely Salah's fault. You were unhappy with yourself way before he stepped into the picture. No matter where you go, there you are. You went to Cuba to reset after Nader, allegedly. Although we found out later you really didn't reset away from Nader, because while you were in Cuba, you were still texting him back and forth and letting him know, I'm going to talk about you to get those views and get that money. And you did. You spent your entire Cuba vacation raging and melting down about him. But the text proved that was kind of planned. You were doing it for attention. You were doing it for money. But the point is, you went to Cuba. That could have been your moment to reset away from Nader and get your head right and get yourself together. You didn't. So you were unhappy in Canada. Then you were unhappy in Cuba. Then you went to the Middle East. You went to Kuwait. You weren't exactly happy there. Then you went to Thailand. You weren't happy there either. Then you went to Syria. You weren't happy there either. Where exactly is your happy place in the world, Chantal? I don't think there is one. Because the most important happy place that you should have, meaning your head, you ain't got that right. So it doesn't matter where you move or what the circumstances are or who is there or who is not there. You're not going to be happy because you're not happy with yourself. And guess what? If you're not happy with yourself, if you are a miserable person, then that means whoever or whatever gets around you will also be miserable. That nasty negative energy that you have is going to bleed off on other people and other environments. And it's just going to increase. Because you're not in a happy state of mind, nor do you want to be. You just are miserable and you're mad because you're alone in your misery and you can't share it with others. And guess what? Misery is something that nobody wants and nobody wants to be around. So you need to be by yourself and check yourself and work on yourself.
Like, you don't know the full extent of a relationship. And it's just like, none of you love him and none of you love me. So you don't understand, like, in that way, none of you understand the relationship.
You never loved him. You don't love Salah, and he didn't love you. You guys just came together because it was an agreement. It was a financial agreement. You wanted to know what it would be like to be married. You knew that you were not going to work on yourself and maybe attract somebody for real, that you could be in a real relationship with still. You wanted the experience. So you thought, you know what? Since I can't have a real relationship, I will just play pretend. I'll find someone in the world that needs some money and I'll approach them with a business deal for them to pretend to be my husband on YouTube. So I get some bragging rights. I can go to Girl World and brag and puff up my chest and say, I'm married. Where is your husband? And no one's going to be the wiser to know if you were really married or not, although we could tell something wasn't right in the water. That it wasn't a real relationship. You guys never had that couple energy, not even in 3 years. Still, it's all about the window dressing, ain't it? The window display. As long as the window display looked good, you were happy enough. You had that window display going for 3 years. I'm married. He's my husband. He's the handsomest man. Isn't he great? No, he wasn't that great. He really wasn't that great, but it was the best you could do. So you did it. You paid him to be around, to be your caretaker, go get your food, come on camera, make some appearances. That's all you got, though. You got to go to the Middle East. You got to play house. You got to play dress up, pretend. But that game is over. He doesn't want you back. And you're just not letting it in. It's over. It's over, Chantal. The game is up. Time to let go.
To the full extent. And it's just like, you just expect me to just, like, the minute I step foot in Canada, just forget about a life I lived for 3 years?
No, don't forget about it, but just move on and away from it. Because it has to happen. You don't have to forget about Salah or Julia or anything that happened there, but move on. Accept that it's over and move on.
It's not easy. At least I'm learning that.
It's not easy, but you know what? You're not making it easy either. You're making it a lot harder. By doing all those edibles and keeping yourself stoned and high and numbed out, you're not trying to move on. You're just wallowing in your own pain and loneliness rather than trying to get away from it. Like trying to escape from your problems doesn't make the problems go away. You're running from yourself when you should be facing yourself. So let's keep going. Something pretty from James Lucas. Monet's pond in Japan looks like the real life Monet painting. So anybody out there a fan of Monet? This is the real pond that inspired the painting. Absolutely stunning. I wish I could see it in person, but since I can't, I'm glad that people on Twitter are posting things like this to give me a glimpse of what the pond actually looks like. So stunning. I could see where Monet got his inspiration. Coffee Time says at least 3 people sent that super chat and she completely ignored it. LOL. I can't help but laugh. Even his own family won't let her back in. No wonder she's not running back. Cry harder, Foodie. Cope harder. Cindy Lou sent a super chat saying, will Salah's family let you back? I don't think they will. I'm really not getting the energy of he wants her back. I don't think the family wants her back. I think the moment that she left, they celebrated. So if they were that happy for her to leave, why would they let her back? You know what I think, Foodie? I think you know that you're not allowed back. I think you know that is completely over. I mean, before you left, they had you sign some sort of paperwork. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I don't know if it was divorce papers or as a contract saying that his obligations to you are completely done, that you can't call on him, that you can't involve him in his family. But obviously something significant happened because that day you signed the paperwork, you were upset, very upset. And to me, it felt like whatever contract, whatever agreements you had with Salah, those were null and void from that day forward. Now, you've claimed that he's got divorce papers and he didn't take them to the courts, but again, you weren't there. So how do you know? How do you know that he didn't take those papers and send them in? How do you know that his family, who flew in from Kuwait, didn't take the paperwork back with them to Kuwait and maybe file it there so it would go through the courts faster? Don't know. You don't know what's going on in Syria or Kuwait right now. You have no idea. You're just maybe telling yourself that to make yourself feel better. That, oh, we're not divorced yet. Don't matter. It's still over. Contract is up. Miss Robinson says she's going back to Syria even before Christmas is my guess. Well, she's got a paycheck coming up in about 12 days. So we'll see. Again, I hope that Salah comes forward and says something that puts the kibosh on all of that. If that's what she's planning, if she's thinking about doing it, if he's watching, say, this live stream where this screenshot comes from, and she's putting out the bat signal, hey, I want to come back to Syria. I'm planning on going back there, whether you like it or not, that he comes forward and he does something to let her know, nope, bad idea. Don't even try it. Because if you come to Damascus, you're going to be stuck there. You're not being let back into the home. And that, ladies and gentlemen, might be the moment when we get a full-on meltdown. When she basically presses too hard and forces his hand and he has to say something to keep her away from him and his family. Ray's Dactylion says Chantal is going to dump her boneless couch, bed, and all of the Amazon crap she ordered in the dumpster, walk out on her lease, let the nameless kitten out on the street, and go back to Syria. I don't know. She might be planning that. I don't know if she'll be able to succeed, but we'll see, huh? Florida Salt and Sass says her depression has always been very suddenly disappeared when she gets what she wants. If only real depression was that easily treatable. She is manipulative AF. Doggy Cat says, I think she's faking exactly how high she is. She faked her sickness and depression last night until Salah showed up, and then she was magically cured. She's the most manipulative person I have ever seen. She's setting up the next storyline, back to Syria. Well, I'll tell you what, If by some miracle Salah lets her back, that will tank her channel for real. Her beezers are going to be so angry and upset. They're going to be like, I'm done. I'm out. I can't take this. That will tank her channel for good. They're not going to put up with that. They're going to be like, wow, you took our money and you came forward with all these declarations of it's over. I'm getting a divorce. I need your money. And then for her to not even stay in Canada for a month, spend all the money, and then go back to Syria. I don't think the Beezers are going to put up with that. Aw, something sweet from the best. They built a new home for the little squirrel that lost its nest during a tree cutting. That's really sweet of them to do. They built a little house, and they're giving it a little padding so it can stay warm. Aw, what a sweet little guy. Now, here's an example of the more things change, the more they stay the same. Courtesy of Shenanigans, saying it's a sound of Nad snorting lines in the background for me. So you want to see an example of the more things change, the more they stay the same. Here's this clip from DX, and this clip, ladies and gentlemen, is back during Crackhead Olympics. Chantal was with Natter, and she was high. And compare that to how she's acting now. The only difference is Nats isn't around, but still, this is how she lived her life back in the day. She didn't have to. She was living with Pete's, had plenty of money, could have done anything she wanted, and this is what she chose to do.
Me here.
So let's watch this clip. I'm blowing it up too.
Me here. I just want to sincerely thank every single person who has just always supported me through good times and bad times. It's awkward when someone walks in, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to say that.
And she's so breathless and she's just so high, like her heart rate is up.
And yes, hamburger eyes. V420. And I love you guys. And I really like that you guys are on this journey with me. And I respect all non-paid members. I have dry mouth.
Yeah, you're dry mouth because you're high.
The same as paid members. And I just really love you guys. So thank you so much for being part of my life experience. And I'll see you when I...
That was Chantal, high as balls, with Nads there. You can hear him in the background sniffing something. Use your imagination. So, has anything really changed since then? What's the differences now? She's a lot heavier than she used to be. She's a lot more unhealthy. Nads isn't there. But the party favors are still prevalent. So, yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what it was back in the day. Okay. So enough with that. Let's go on to the live stream. Let's do this, shall we? We are going to skip ahead a lot. I'm here for the spicy parts, honestly. I am. And you know what, Chantal? You are giving me Crackhead Olympics vibes. You want to know how? Because you got that got no glitter eyeshadow on, and clearly you did not wash it off. That was the stuff you put on the day before. It's caked on your eyes, girl. Look, it's caked on her eyes. What's this? Hold on. I messed it up. Why did I do that? I was just trying to blow it up. Look at that caked on eyeshadow. That looks painful because that's full of glitter too. You know that's gotta hurt. Girl, what? Wash your face. All right, let's do this thing, and I'm gonna skip ahead a lot. Speaking of which, wait a minute, before we get started, does she have any comments? No, she doesn't. And this was 7 hours ago, and she ain't got no comments. Girl, you are editing those comments. You know that hurts your YouTube engagement, right? when you don't let the comments go through. Hey, do what you got to do. I just think that's odd. Anyway, let's do this.
Everything just looks so like modern here. Well, Peppermint, I realize this. Thank you. Oh, the battery's still going? I forgot about it. I better turn it off and give it a break. I'm going out with Pete where? Plus, I'm sick.
And yeah, I get it. You're sick, Chantal. When you're sick, you don't want to go anywhere. But then again, if you were really sick, if you really cared about your health, you would just go to bed for a couple of days. Not stream for a couple of days and get yourself feeling a little bit better. Take care of your health. Eat some chicken soup, some crackers, some warm tea, and just sleep. Just go to bed, go to sleep. And then the next live stream that you do, you might feel better. You might be able to talk to people. Like you look bad. You look tired. You've still got the no glitter on your eyelids. You've still got hair fibers all in your hair, cake in your hair. Ugh, girl, you need a bath. You need to clean yourself. If you got in the shower, you might feel better. If you've got some congestion going on in your chest and in your lungs, that will break it up. Go take a shower.
Yeah. I have no pogos. 0. Holiday tree. Oh, that sucks, ECB. Hey, cat on a fence. Living eye roll. Kristen. I should go look for my cat. I should make soup today.
Hey, Chantal, there's something I want to show you. Since the last few live streams, you're like, I don't know where the cat is. I know where my cat is. There she is. There's Booger. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. I know where my cat is. I always know where she is. She seeks me out. There's Queen. Into Booger. Into Booger. The Booger. She knows where I'm at, and I know where she is. How come you don't know where your cat is? I think you know exactly where the cat is. She's locked up in that room by herself, isolated. Biatch. How can you be a pet owner and not know where your pet is? Most pet owners, if they don't see their pets within like 2 minutes, they go looking for them.
I don't feel like doing a single thing.
Well, you know what? If that's your mindset, I don't want to do a single thing. You shouldn't have a pet. You don't want to interact with them. You don't want to name them. You don't want to take care of them. Find some nice person and rehome the pet. That's the least you could do. If you just want to sit and stare at a wall all day, do it. But let the pet go to somebody else who will take care of it and interact with it.
I'm just going to turn this off so I can get up and get something. Where are you, kitty?
And for those who are wondering, why is it important for Chantal to turn off the camera when she gets up? That's because Chantal has a nasty habit of when she's doing her live stream, she doesn't wear pants. She likes to run around bare bottomed. That's why. There's a lot of dead airspace in this live stream. Another reason I like doing the reacts and recording them, because she gets up a lot and she leaves the stream running. There's nothing to see, there's nothing to hear. So we can just skip ahead those parts. Look at all this dead airspace.
My hair fibers are atrocious. Lava rock formation. Thank you, Trixie. Appreciate it. I don't know.
Plush Queen says, are we supposed to watch you just breathe? Yeah, that's pretty much it, Blush Queen. You're supposed to just stare at Chantal. This is like irritating breathing ASMR. Just watch Foodie breathe. You're in her presence. What more do you want? Just give her the clicks and the views and watch her breathe.
I don't think I'm okay, but ew. I feel like you have COVID. I don't know.
And Chantal, I'm going to make you mad in a minute, because I know some of the Beezers come over here. Listen, Beezers, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. You can decide. It's your money. You made it. It's in your pocket. But understand the manipulation that's going on here. And it is manipulative. Now, I know what you're going to say. Rose Thorne, she is sick. What do you mean? Well, yeah, she is sick. I will agree with you there. She is very, very sick. Very sick. I don't think she's faking that part. But understand the manipulation of her coming online while she's sick. Where most people would go, you know, I'm not feeling good. I'm just going to go to bed. I'm going to get myself better, at least to a point where I can do a decent live stream. Chantal is online for a reason. She needs that money. And she's hoping that by coming online sick and looking extra sick and extra pathetic, that people will feel bad for her and send those pity super chats. She's trying to pity the money out of you. That's part of the manipulation. I'm going to come on camera, you know, with the hair fibers caked all over my head and the old glitters still stuck to my lids and look extra sad and extra dirty and extra sweaty and mopey. And I hope that you guys give me money because I'm all in my feelings. Understand that this is manipulation going on right here, right now.
Usually when I get sick, I get bad, like, cough no matter what I have. Could be COVID. It's hard to tell.
But I don't think you have the vid. You'd be in the hospital if you did. You're high risk. If you had the vid, you would need to go to the hospital. They would have to put you on oxygen. Maybe you just have a simple cold. Maybe your system is just so run down from the way you were living in Syria and then coming back to Canada and going wild with the junk food and the party favors that your immune system is zero. And it's telling you that it's zero and you need to slow the F down and maybe not take those doggone edibles. If you're sick, you don't need those edibles. Hello. Let your immune system get to work.
But yeah, there's nothing I can do. Just have to wait it out at home. It's not about needing a man for money, Verica. I just don't feel like...
She doesn't want to do adulting. She's looking at having her own place as almost like a timeout corner. She's in timeout. And she doesn't like her being in timeout. She looks at it as a form of punishment. Living alone is a form of punishment. She doesn't have anybody around to boss around and get her food and baby her and coddle her and listen to her nonsense. Put a narcissist alone in a room with no one to control, that's a form of punishment. There's nobody around that I can suck the life force out of, and she don't like it.
I don't know. Pretty much teardrop, right?
Curly Fry says, if you were in Syria, you would not be doing anything different. You would be miserable without good internet. Yeah, no place is good enough for her. She was in Syria, she was complaining. She's in Canada, she's complaining. That's why I say, no matter where you go, there you are. And if you're a miserable person, you're always going to find something to complain about. You're always going to be unhappy.
I'm sorry, Verica, but I mean, that's your experience. I'm sorry for your loss, but that doesn't invalidate what I'm going through.
So Verica Z says, Chantal, I lost my fiance. I'm sorry that happened to you, Verica. He passed away. You want to talk about pain, and I'm still here. Come on now. So somebody in the chat, they're not trying to be rude. They're just pointing out they've been through an intense pain of losing a loved one. And it was quite painful. And they worked their way through it. So they're saying, if I can go through this thing where I lose someone that I love, and that was extremely painful, surely you can pick yourself up from this. And she's just like, I don't care. I don't care what you went through. It's all about me right now.
I'm sorry to tell you, but yeah. Yes. So beautiful, teardrop. Oh my gosh. Beautiful baby boy. That's so awesome. I'm so happy for you. Thank you. I have over-the-counter medicine, but yeah. I don't know if I feel like making soup. I don't feel like doing anything. Really? Sorry to...
Oh, even the Beezers are wondering. Curly Fry says, are you waiting for payday so you can go back? I think she is. She's holding on to that little sliver of hope that once she gets her YouTube paycheck that she can go back. That maybe she can tempt Salah with the money. Hey, I've got my YouTube money. Let me come back. He doesn't want you back. His family doesn't want you back. You don't get it. Look, I don't know what happened over there recently. If he got married, there was some sort of celebration. I think it was a combination celebration of you leaving and him being in a relationship. But if there's some kind of relationship going on, and if there's a new wife and she's in the house now, I'm sure she doesn't want you there because you are a negative force. There'd be no benefit to having you there. You don't have a place in Syria, Chantal. Leave it alone.
Hear that teardrop? That sucks. Hopefully they'll bring him to you a lot, you know?
I mean, if you're hoping to get back with Salah, do you think that by doing streams like this where you're coming on camera, you look dirty, you look filthy, you look high, you look a mess? Do you think this is going to appeal to him, you being this way? You've already shown him twice now that if you're left alone, you can't handle life. The first time was in Thailand when you went there alone. You spent what, a month there? And you showed every sign that you are an older adult that can't do adulting. Because what did you do in Thailand? You were a mess without him there. You didn't know what to do. You didn't know where to go. You were making yourself sick, eating all the fast food. You didn't know what to do with yourself. And that was then. And this is now. And nothing has changed. You want to appeal to a man. At the same time, you're showing the worst of yourself. If anything, he's going to look at this and go, I am so glad I am away from her because she's nothing but a burden. She can't even handle herself.
Are you waiting for Beta to go back? Yep. You guys are so funny.
And yet, look at her. She's looking away from the camera. If it weren't a possibility at all, if that's not what she was planning, she would look straight at the camera and go, no, I'm not going back. Are you kidding me? She's not doing that, though. She's not making a public declaration that she's not going back. She's looking away. That's a tell.
No.
Curly Fry says, you've done it before. Yep.
You've done it before. I know.
Yeah, but you know what, Chantal? I know that you are. You're sick and you're stoned. And I think you're trying to stay stoned because you don't want to say anything. You're holding it all in. And I think one of the main reasons why you're holding it all in is because you're holding on to the hope that you can go back there. That's the reason why you're not talking about Salah. You're holding stuff in because you're holding on to the hope that he'll let you back there. And you know, if you come to the internet, you come to YouTube and you start ragging on him hard, well, that bridge will get burned real fast. Here's the thing. You're the only one that's not caught on to the fact that that bridge is already burned. But you are imagining that it's still there. You can't go back.
Anyway. What's it called? It's cold. I have no one to make coffee for.
You can make coffee for yourself. What's wrong with that?
At least I have you guys to talk to. Coffee for yourself.
She makes it sound like once she was in Syria, she did everything for Salah. I made his coffee. I made his food. I waited on him hand and foot. I did so much. And now I feel like there's a hole in my heart because there's no one around to do things for. That's not how it was, and you know it, Chantal. You didn't do anything for anybody unless you had to, and you resented every single moment of getting up off your butt and participating in the household. Don't act like the unhappy housewife now. Ray Bebe says, you hated doing that, girl. Yes, she did. No hair, don't care says, you didn't like serving, so now you can chill.
Maybe I do like serving. I don't know. I'm so confused.
No, you liked other people serving you. You know, you and Amberlynn Reed are the same. You're both super morbidly obese burdens. You know that? You're both burdens. And you're cheap. Both of you are so cheap and manipulative and controlling. You got yourself in the position where you don't either want to do things for yourself or you can't do things for yourself. But rather than do what some people do and hire, say, a proper nurse or a caretaker who gets paid by the hour, you don't want to do that. You don't want the proper care from the proper people. What you and Amberlynn try to do is find somebody out there in the world, some ordinary person that you get to do several jobs and pay them dirt cheap. You wanted Salah to be your online husband and do content with you for the sake of your own ego, but also function as your caretaker to go get you things, but also function as an Uber driver to go get your food. Someone to take you to the hospital or the clinic when you needed. You made him wear a lot of hats. And I'm sure it was cumbersome and exhausting because not only did he have to do all those jobs, he had to put up with your bad temper and your temper tantrums and your controlling, manipulative, evil ways. And you wonder why people run away from you. You expect too much. You ask too much. And the person that you ask these things of, you don't even allow them to have a life. They can't go out. They can't be around friends. They can't be around family. You want them to devote their entire life to you. Be there every single minute, every single second to take care of you or to keep you amused or to keep you company. Their whole life is supposed to be about you. They're not supposed to have a life at all. They just give their life over to you. And you wonder why people get unhappy and they have to leave you. Ray Bebe says, no matter where you are depressed and sad. You know that means the problem is in your brain and you can't fix it by yourself, right? Oh, she knows. And here's something for you, Beezers. Those of you that you actually mean well and you care about Chantal, that you got yourselves all wrapped around Foodie and you want her to be this way and you are concerned for her welfare. You want her to get better. You want her to be healthy. You don't want her to be sick. You want her to be happy. You want her to go out in the world and do things. Here's the problem. This person, Foodie Beauty, Chantal Marie, let me give you some real talk. She has no interest in being happy. She has no interest in being healthy. She has no interest in fixing her issues, any of them. She has no interest in fixing her addictions and being in recovery. She wants to remain broken in every way so she can profit off of and talk about her broken parts. Facts. She doesn't want to be in a position where she's happy and healthy and well adjusted and all of that, because she makes money off of being broken and getting pity and sympathy from her broken parts. She wants the ability to cry victim. She doesn't want to be a strong, independent woman who knows what to do, got problems, but on top of them. That's not what she wants for herself. She wants to be coddled. She wants to be pitied. She wants to surround herself in people that will give her pity and give her money for what's wrong with her, when she herself does not want to fix what's wrong with her. And y'all over there, those of you that do care, you need to wake up to that. I know it sounds really weird to be in pain. Those of us that are experience pain, when you're in pain, it doesn't feel good, does it? No, it doesn't feel good. It hurts. And when you're hurting, all you want is the pain to go away. But Chantal works different. She has learned to live with pain in a sense. The uncomfortable is her normal. That's her normal state of being. That's her normal state of feeling. And she's gotten comfortable with the pain. She's gotten comfortable with the misery. That is her normal. And being happy and healthy would be abnormal to her. It would feel strange. It would feel unfamiliar. And the strange and the unfamiliar, she does not like. She doesn't know what to do with something that feels abnormal and unique and strange and new. So she sticks with the familiar. And the pain and discomfort are her normal. It's like a familiar security blanket that she doesn't want to let go of. She just wants attention with her level of pain and discomfort. And she wants all of you to surround her and be part of that bubble of discomfort. She has no intention of breaking free of it. Know that, understand that, and remember that.
Well, I feel like it's boring here. I can't do anything with you guys right now anyway because I'm sick.
You know, before she even says anything, this is kind of personal, but I want to share it because it plays into what's going on here. I was in an abusive relationship with someone. I've said that before. And I dealt with a male version of Chantal. He wasn't obese, but still like personality traits and all that was just very similar. And it took me a long time to figure out that I was dealing with somebody that they were dramatic. And every phone conversation started out the doggone same. He'd get on the phone with me and say, "You won't believe what just happened to me." Or "You won't believe what just happened." Every single conversation. And the next 2 or 3 hours was him telling me about all the things in his life that were going wrong. And me being a good person, I would go, "Well, try this, this, and this, and this." You know, he would act like he was coming to me for advice. You know, like, "I'm in pain. I'm in discomfort. I'm in turmoil. I'm in distress. Help me." That was the vibe. But then me being a good person, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give my advice. about this is what you could do to fix these things. Not a single shred of the advice was taken. And for the longest time, I didn't understand why. I'm like, this person's acting like they're in pain. They're appearing that they're in pain. They're hurting. Why aren't they trying some of the things that I'm suggesting? And then it hit me. Because they just didn't want to. They wanted the attention of the pain and discomfort, but they didn't want to fix it. Because I gave them talking points. And that's how they got attention. And Chantal's exactly the same.
But I'll have to go out every day. Because, like, I don't know if you're bored with the same positions in this house, but not much I can do. Do I have vitamins? Vitamin C. Hey, Bringo. It's so quiet. I don't know if I can bear it.
Well, then get a radio. Turn on the radio. Go somewhere and get a radio. Have music playing throughout the house, and that way it's not so quiet. Put on an ASMR video, an ambiance video with nice music, and play that.
Thank you. I should have never said anything about that. It was so long ago. We got over it. I made the choice. It was very good to me after that. I don't care about that. It's just, I'm just lonely.
Yeah, she's putting out that vibe like she wants to go back. I'm so alone. I'm so alone here. I want my daddy. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Wow, Luke. I didn't even name the cat yet. I don't know what to name her. Willow. Willow.
Why are you calling to the cat when you've got her locked up in that room by herself?
She's in a bag. Yeah, leave me alone. You guys don't know the relationship, only bits that I've told you.
Uh-oh. Are we about to get spicy? Is the hot garbage about to get spicy? Go for it, Chantal. Throw some pepper on the mix.
You don't know anything else. You can't say how awful it was because you don't know.
We do know. You told us. And even then, you didn't have to tell us. We saw it all over your face. You were miserable.
Yeah, it is audacity. It's hard to get health care. You know?
Well, Chantal, you do need mental help. And I say that without an ounce of sarcasm or meanness. You need a lot of help. You need physical help. You need emotional help. You need mental help. Even if you can't leave the house, there are services that can help you. There are lots of online sites that you could go to and have therapy through Zoom meetings. And that would help a lot. But you would have to admit that you need the help and actually reach out and get the help. and you're not even doing that. You know your mental health is bad. It's really, really bad. It's been bad for years. And yet you won't reach out for the help. All you want to do is get on YouTube and profit off of what's broken inside of you.
Normal or ganja. Hey, Chance. We all right. It is hard adjustment, yeah. Right, YouTube lover? Hey, Rhonda.
Curly Fry says, but you did say you were miserable in Syria, that you both want different things out of life, and you want to be able to be yourself, right? She said in the Middle East, I can't be myself here. I can't run my mouth. I can't speak my mind because I'm in the Middle East and I have to watch what I say. And that's just not who I am. Truth be told, though, I don't think Chantal knows who she is. I think she's been avoiding herself for so long that she's out of touch with herself.
Yeah, you just have to mourn it, I know. Hey, Leopold.
You know, Chantal's problem is that she wants her cake and she wants to eat it too. She wants the benefits of Canada. She wants the benefits of the Middle East. You know, she wants Salah, and yet she wants to be alone. She wants it all. I'm sure she wishes that she could combine being in the Middle East, being in a place where she doesn't pay rent, have Salah, and yet all of that in Canada where she's got access to her edibles and her fast food. She wants everything. She can't have everything. This is a hard lesson in life. You can't have everything.
Hold on, I'll be right back. You like being alone? Yeah, but you at least have someone in the house, I guess. And a huge family, mashallah.
More dead air.
Wow.
Everybody in the chat asking the question, are you considering going back? Kara J says, Chantal, are you considering going back?
I don't know what, but it's like I'm depressed for different reasons where I am. One, no matter where I am, because I'm just like have that clinical sickness. But here, I don't know. It's like it's like a scary existence.
Why is it scary?
Like I have relied a lot on him for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you treated him like a daddy. You don't make people into your partners. You turn them into almost parental figures because you got daddy issues, which goes all the way back maybe to your childhood. You've got abandonment issues and you've got daddy issues. And rather than address those in therapy and get those straight as you should, you're running around trying to find someone to act as your daddy. And here's the thing, Chantal. No man except for someone who truly is a father figure can be a father figure. If you're looking at a guy and you're saying to yourself, he's hot, you're attracted to him, guess what? That can't be a daddy figure. You can't. Different mindset there. It's got to be someone that you look at and treat as a father. Someone that you have no attraction to, someone that you go to them for advice, you maybe look up to, you respect what they say, and there's nobody around you that you look at that way. So you're basically spinning in your head in that apartment because there's no one there to control. There's no one there coddling you and letting you be a child in your mind, and you don't like it. You're freaking out because for 3 years, Salah was acting almost in a parental way to you. And you got used to that. You got real used to that. And now you got to get unused to it.
I think that's fair. But I felt limited, I guess, there in a lot of ways, particularly with content, because live streaming and
I don't know why she's freaking out about her content. She did a lot of stuff by herself. She barely did anything content-wise with Salah. And in some of the times that I saw her do content with Salah, she would roll her eyes and be resentful of him being there. But the majority of the stuff that she did by herself. So what's the difference between her doing content in Canada versus doing stuff in Syria? There really isn't much difference.
it's just a really different existence anyways. I wake up here alone.
Aw, poor baby. You wake up alone. I do it every morning. I'm fine with it.
I don't have motivation to do anything.
Actually, that's not right. I don't wake up alone. I got Queen Booger, so I'm not completely alone.
Except take gummies so I don't have to think about anything.
And that's what she wants. She wants to go back to the Middle East, to Salah, to Syria, because when she's with him, she doesn't even have to think. She doesn't have to make any decisions. She doesn't have to think about what she should do for herself. Doesn't have to think about her health. Doesn't have to think about paying rent. She could just empty her head and think of nothing.
I can't go anywhere. It's not like it's easy to just pack up and go. Anyways. Yeah.
Kara J says, will Salah's family be okay if you were to go back? Oh, no, they wouldn't be okay. They don't want her back. They weren't crying when she left. They were celebrating. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Anyway. Being sick makes depression worse. Actually, the gummies make it better. It's like,
Do they though? Do the gummies make it better? The gummies are probably getting in the way of your body healing from the cold. That's number one, Chantal. And if you're already depressed and you take too much in the way of gummies, instead of them relaxing you, that might be making feelings of depression worse.
I'll have a panic attack, I think, if I don't use it to calm down. It feels like,
Lurking here says, didn't you realize that this would happen when you came back? Not being rude, but what did you envision? I don't know what she envisioned. Actually, you know what, Lurking? Let me take that back. I think this is what she envisioned, that she would come back to Canada and all of you Beezers would be so happy that she was back in Canada that you'd be throwing thousands of dollars at her. And to back up that plan, she got the kitten. She thought that would be a moneymaker. Well, that went over like a lead balloon. She didn't get thousands of dollars from the cat either. Hence the reason why the cat has been secluded to a room by itself, much like Harry the hamster was. She looked at the kitten as an investment. Oh, let me just get an expensive kitten that's really, really cute, and I'll get extra money for it. Well, she got the kitten, but nobody was throwing money at her. So she's like, that prop didn't work. I'm not going to take care of it now. I'm not going to spend time with it. I'm not even going to give it a name because it was part of a plan that failed.
I have to just be strong. And I'm not. Yeah, gummies. Anyway, and maybe when I'm not sick, I'll have more motivation. It's like,
No, you won't. You're going to basically make another excuse. Once you're not sick, you're going to find another excuse not to go out of the house and do content. Because again, those of us that are OGs, reactors and viewers alike, we were there, weren't we? We saw what went down. When Chantal was healthy, what did she do? She would just sit in her room and stream and not go anywhere for days and 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 days. She wanted to stay in her room, get high, stream, rage at people, and go nowhere and do nothing unless it involved Natter. She would say, I'm depressed and I'm sad. But the moment that he called, up and out of that bed with a quickness, putting on the makeup, putting on the Got No Glitter eyeshadow, packing that overnight bag, and out the door she went. Funny how a phone call from him could snap her out of it. But she doesn't have a car right now. And it's snowing outside. She can't go see Natter. And Salah's not there. Didn't I tell y'all that when she went back to Canada that she'd be falling apart? Because she wouldn't have anybody to control. She wouldn't have a caretaker. She wouldn't have a puppet on a string. Here we are. Here we are.
Should I go get the cat? Hey, Barb, Katie. No, I would be the first wife, and no. I have no idea. I'm not going to answer these questions.
Oh, people are bringing up him getting married. So here's some of the comments. Pogo Loco says, don't stress over someone planning on marrying their first cousin. And what are some other comments? Why I missed the other one. But people are bringing up the whole marriage thing. Another person said, you should have just offered to be the second wife. And so people are touching on the whole marriage thing, and she's not liking it, bringing that up.
Yeah, Margie. No, I didn't. Wait a minute. No, but in Syria, like, I did stuff inside the house that
Not much.
made other people happy, and you could say.
Well, if that's true, Chantal, if you are telling the truth, and I don't believe you are, if you were the most helpful person, you were truly helpful, you were doing things around the house, you were helping the family, you were not combative, you were not difficult, you were not a burden, why did they literally celebrate when you left? Why was there a celebration for your leaving? If somebody's around and they're a good person and they're helpful, then there isn't an energy of this person is such a burden, we're going to celebrate for a week when she's gone. If they're celebrating, that means you were an awful person. You were not helpful. You were a burden. You're a pain in the butt.
No, it doesn't go. First and second wife doesn't go by who can have the children. A nice try to make me feel like shit for not having kids. I don't
Woo, spicy garbage again. Let it out.
care how much I love Salah. I don't want kids. I'm okay with that. So trying to use that against me is not gonna fucking work, okay?
Ooh,
Thanks.
bad.
Like
You were never his wife. He never looked at you as wifey. You were just a paid pig with a contract. Facts. You were just a paid pig. And there was a contract or an agreement between you. Your job was to give up the money because you weren't good for much else. So you gave up the money. Then the contract was over and it's time for you to go live your life. He's walking off stage, Chantal. He's walking off the world stage of being in the Chantal show. And he doesn't want his contract renewed. He wants to be away from it. Every single tarot reading that I've done on Salah privately, I show him throwing away his phone, walking away. He wants nothing more to do with you and your channel. He wants no more of this. And he's trying to be nice and let you walk away on your own. And the feeling is you go your way, I'll go mine. You go live your life back in Canada. I will live my life back here in Syria with my family. Let's just agree to disagree, part ways peacefully, and leave it there. But you are still insisting on some kind of connection point with him that no longer exists. You just won't leave it alone. And what that's going to lead to is you're going to force his hand. That in order to stop you from acting crazy and flying back over to the Middle East and giving the impression that, yeah, he wants me back, he's going to have to say something. He's going to have to absolutely stop you from acting nuts.
ew. Do you bake with food? No, but I could probably do some.
And y'all in the chat, you guys need to stop suggesting for her to live with Pete. What is wrong with y'all? I mean, I get it. Maybe you're concerned because Chantal is in bad health. She needs somebody around in case something happens. I get that angle. But honestly, he does not need to be around her. He's got his own issues. And they've lived together before. And all they did was reinforce each other's bad habits. He lived with her. It was not beneficial to him. She lived with him. It wasn't beneficial to her either. They are both codependent people that when they get together, it reinforces the codependency. And neither one are focused on improving themselves. They are each other's toxic distraction. He's trying to get himself together. I say leave the man alone to let him get himself together. It is interesting, though, how much he likes her, still loves her, and he's not moving in with her. Makes you wonder why. Maybe he's looking at her and her situation and saying, I really don't want a repeat of last time. She's a mess, and if I move in with her, she's going to make me a mess. So maybe the smart thing is to stay away from the mess. There's no stability here. There's no stability with an unstable person. And if he's wised up, I think that's a good thing. So let him find his wisdom. Let him be on his path without her being involved.
Hey, Zoe. Yeah, she's in a bag. I should go get her out. So she's gonna hang out here. Let me make a spot for her. Oh my god, she's destroying everything. And I miss Juice. Like, I'm such an idiot.
So you're calling the cat an idiot because they like to play in bags and boxes? It's just a cat thing. But I really do hope the cat is not in a plastic bag. Chantal, clean your place up.
Frig.
Oh, Pogo Loco says no, his family won't let her back. His father waited until she left to go to Syria. That's not a coincidence. No, it's not. Why would his father go to Syria? It must have been for an important reason. For him to travel like that, it must have been something very significant for dad to make that trip. And it only happened after she left. She was there for 3 months. Why didn't dad visit while she was there? It only happened after she was gone.
A plan and a vision. Yeah. I know. Your depression is killing the channel. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't entertain you. Like, why would I give a shit about that, Peppermint?
Oh,
You think my whole existence is just my channel?
pretty much. Pretty much. I think you live completely in social media, Chantal. You do. You don't have a life outside of social media. And you're so caught up in social media and being on YouTube and being in front of people and getting attention from people that you don't bother to have a life when the camera is turned off. I think long ago you gave up a connection to your real self. And the reason why you did that is because the persona that you created, Foodie Beauty, you live in it. That's when you feel alive, is when you are Foodie Beauty. to the point where you ignored Chantal Marie. Hence the reason why Chantal Marie has so many issues that are untreated, that are unchecked. Because you didn't give anything to your real self. You gave it all to your persona.
It's not. I don't live to make you entertained and happy. Who cares, Ray Ray?
Chantal's getting an attitude right now because people are saying, like, basically they're saying, you promised us great content when you came back to Canada. You made so many promises. You told us all these things that you were going to do. And it seems like every stream you do is the same now. You're coming on camera. You are sick. You're high as balls. You're not even trying to be entertaining. You're not trying to make interesting conversation. You're just sitting there getting high and eating. And you did this in Syria. So why exactly did we give all of our money again? I'm telling you, you beezers are going to learn she's a liar. She's a con artist. She will manipulate the F out of you. And then she'll smile in your face and make you feel stupid.
Whoever had that idea to do members only, thank you so much. Because that's a lot better. Because I don't need people on the internet who don't give a flying fuck about me harassing me all damn day when I'm on here for comfort. And the internet's not a good place for comfort. Yeah, well, I don't care. There are good people on it as well. And people just try to invalidate my feelings, and like I'm tired of it. We're holding you accountable for what? I don't owe you anything. Did I ask for accountability in my life? No.
No, you didn't ask for accountability, but you do come online and you ask people to 100% support your life, and you involve them in your business. You want them to be concerned and caring of you as long as there's a dollar sign attached to the care and concern. You want them a part of your life so long as they are supporting your life. So you create this whole toxic support system where you make people feel like you actually care about them. And the truth is you don't. You care about what they can give you. You care about them supporting you financially, but that's as far as it goes.
You just sit back and watch and shut the F up or leave.
Ooh.
Like, don't go on and on and on about something. Jeez, hello. Seriously, they just go on and on, like bashing Salah, like acting like they knew everything about our relationship. It's my fault for saying anything negative. This is why you don't do that. Because then people will just hate the person, you know. Living viral, walking around recipes. I know it's frustrating and so eye roll worthy of people to be like, oh my God, I can't believe you want to be with him or her. At the end of the day, like when it's an online relationship, you don't know the extent of anything, you know?
We know enough. And what we've heard isn't good. And it's your fault. It's entirely your fault. You put the ball in motion. And once you do that, you can't stop it rolling downhill. Once you put something on the table, it's on the table, Chantal.
Like you don't know the full extent of a relationship.
You didn't have a relationship. Get that through your thick head. You didn't have a relationship. What you had was a situationship. And the situation was you were wanting to get back at Natter because Natter rejected you. You want a relationship with Nader so bad that you tried every trick that you could come up with, from paying his bills and paying his way to threatening him, blackmailing him, threatening to go to the cops. You tried every manipulative trick that you had in your bag. None of them worked. You even went so far as to pose for fake engagement photos in a park and buy your own ring, trying to pressure him into a relationship, and that didn't work either. A year you ran after this man. You didn't get what you wanted. So, you being immature in your thinking, you thought if you got involved with Salah, that would make him what? Jealous? Insecure? Afraid to lose you and your money? And then if you threw Salah in his face, he would come running back to you. Well, that didn't work. You said it yourself. Salah was a rebound. Well, rebounds don't lead to great relationships. Sorry, they don't. Salah was a rebound. You settled for Salah, but you wanted Nader. And you know it. And to this day, you still want Nader. And I'll die on that hill. You want what you can't have. But the moment that you get it, you don't want it. And I've seen this over and over and over and over and over again with you, Chantal. It's not just one man, it's all the men in your life. You got different phases that you go through. Phase one, you get with the dude, it's new, it's fresh, it's unique. There's the new car smell. It's the unfamiliar, it's exciting. And you get all caught up in it. You get drunk off the new love. It's intoxicating. Phase two, you get used to things. You've been around that person enough to where it's not strange and unfamiliar anymore. And the thrill starts to kind of die off. Stage three, you're over that person. You're rolling your eyes every time they walk in the room. You start showing more of your true personality, like that fake persona that you put on when you first meet them. You just say, screw it. I'm just going to be myself. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. You start being vulgar and gross and disgusting because you figure by that time, they're all wrapped around you emotionally and they'll just put up with you. But when they walk in the room, you're rolling your eyes. You're acting resentful. Stage four, you're done. Move on to the next. Saw it happen with BB. You acted that way with Pete's. You kind of acted that way with Nader. And now I've seen it again with Salah. Tell me I'm wrong. You don't look for love. You look for infatuations. You get infatuated. You look for the strange and the unfamiliar. And the infatuations are just another way for you to get high. You're looking for that relationship high. And because you're looking for the high, you don't want a relationship. You just want a situationship where that person's supposed to be around and cater to your ego. But once you get bored with them, it's time to move on. And thinking about it further, you have the same attitude with animals. Oh, I got something new. It's so cute. But then after a while, you get bored and you stop caring for it.
And it's just like, none of you love him. And none of you love me. So you don't understand, like in that way, you don't understand the relationship.
If you really love Salah the way that you say that you do, then you would say to yourself, I really care about this person, but they're happier being away from me. And I care so much for this individual that I want them to be happy. And if that means being without me, then I want that for them. Because every person should be happy, should strive for things, environments, people, situations that bring them happiness. And all you did was bring him unhappiness, and it made you unhappy too. So if you cared for someone and they're happy now, leave them alone to be happy.
To the full extent. And it's just like, you just expect me to just like be, the minute I step foot in Canada, just forget about a life I lived for 3 years. It's not easy. At least I'm learning that.
The life you lived in the Middle East was a lie. You were not yourself at all. The relationship was a lie. And I do hope at some point Salah comes online, makes a video, and makes that clear, that it was never a relationship. It was fake. It was phony. It was part of a script. You paid him to play a part. I want this whole doggone thing to fall apart. Not out of meanness or spite, mind you, because she just needs to come to grips with the fact that it was just pretend. It's all it was pretend for money.
Anyway. Yeah, where's my Penningtons? Right, Teardrop. That's why you don't talk shit about your husband and other people. Exactly. Local radio station. It's so quiet. I know I'm gonna miss just, a lot of things. Yeah. Thanks, Gary. Pennington's is a plus size clothing store in Canada. Then I would just want to go back.
Hold on, what'd she say? I was trying to get past the boring parts. Oops, I'm sorry, chat. Shame on me, slap my hand. I was trying to get past the boring part and I might have missed something important, but let's go back.
Really, Lenora? Like I'm some kind of circus monkey, right? Like, used to be like, I'm sorry, but I don't know. Really, Nicole? I'm like not normal because I know like I flip flop so easy. The minute I last about a week in Canada, then I would just want to go back. And I can't imagine how mentally hard that is on Salah as well. And my family.
And your beezers. Because of the constant flip flopping. Don't leave them out. You involve them in your business. They're involved too. I'm sure it's hard on them. 1 minute you're saying, we're divorced. I'm going back to Canada. I'm starting a new life. Give me money. And the next minute you're flying back to Syria. So I'm sure it's hard on them too, just keeping up with your nonsense. And I think as far as your immediate family, Chantal, I think they've completely given up on you. I think the last time you were in Canada, that mom and stepdad, they helped you get the other apartment. I mean, they really, really tried to give you some stability, but then you gave it all up. And after that, they just threw up their hands and said, we're done.
Not yet, Luke. My husband's always here, so there's nothing to miss. Yeah, I'm always being honest about, just Yeah. Anyways, whatever. Whatever, right? Steam from a shower, yeah. Hey girl, hey, welcome to
Yeah, during this live stream, she got flooded with bots. I don't know if Chantal bought the bots or somebody else bought them for her, but she got flooded with bots.
Why would it what? Sucks, teardrop, when it's like something you need and they don't have that one thing. Like, what? I placed a whole ass order for that one fucking item. Lenore, imagine.
Oh, bingo. Bonnie says, just remember, quote, enjoy 500 kids and no money. Yeah, she said that about Solana's family. So basically what she was saying was that was all she brought to the table was her money. Enjoy your family because I'm not giving my money anymore. So you basically, she was admitting that she was a pay pig.
How do you know I won't be happy? I'm not happy anywhere, anyways.
Again, people are suggesting Pete's, move in with Pete's, be around Pete's. No, leave Pete's alone. It would not be good for either one of them. Y'all stop that.
Anyway, we'll see. I'm obviously here, so that's the best option. Uh, Only you can decide. I know. That's true.
Oh, I like this comment. Hardly Quinn says Pete has his own life. He can't be responsible for her. She has said the same about him. This will pass. Right. She is not his responsibility. He is not hers.
Uh, yeah, sick. When you're not sick, yeah. Hey, Kimby. This is the mug from that place. Uh, it's cold.
Turn the heat on.
Yeah.
We almost done. You're making this painful, Chantal.
I don't have muscle aches. Excuse me, from being sick.
I'm getting about sick of this pity party.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. I should do a pogo refill order.
Okay, you know what? She's stoned. She's high. We're done. Nothing much more to see here, folks. So we're done. At least with this one. I don't know if she's done anything else while I've been reacting. So that's it for this react. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.